Listen up, because the streets don't lie, and right now, the talk is all about who's thirsty and who's a liar when the lights are off and the direct messages are flying. Forget the platinum plaques and the big boy toys for a minute, because this ain't about music or money, not really. This is about power, respect, and what happens when an Instagram model decides to air out one of the biggest bosses in the game, the man himself, Rick Ross. The hook is simple. There's a screenshot out there, and it's got Rosie's name on it, sending a message to a woman that reads, "You are mine." Now stop right there, because in the jungle we live in, that ain't just a cute text. That's a claim, a straight-up ownership tag. And when you're dealing with a woman who has a platform, that kind of energy is like throwing a match on gasoline.
By the way, welcome to Celebrity Hip Hop Showroom, where hip hop and celebrity drama never sleep. So hit that subscribe button so you never miss the mess. Let's get into it.
The woman in question, Nardose Mesfin, she didn't just post it for kicks. She dropped it like a sermon, a public service announcement for all the other women getting played by the rich and famous. She put that screenshot on her story yesterday, November 30th, and used it to say, "Look, these guys, your so-called favorites, they are all sliding in the DMs, and their attention ain't worth a dime." She said she got DMs from so many of these celebrities, but she chose the Teflon Don because, in her words, she knew he'd get the joke. But was it a joke? Absolutely not. It was a shot fired directly across the bow of the Maybach music group head honcho, challenging the whole celebrity game of using women like disposable props. She was speaking the raw truth about what women go through, seeing other women bragging about their celebrity attention like it's some kind of prize. She's like, "Okay, I don't even follow them, they follow me." That line right there, it says everything. It means the pursuit is all on their end, that she's the catch, and all their fame and money doesn't make her lose sleep. But she didn't stop at just the attention. She took a full swing at the game, giving what felt like the coldest, most street-certified financial advice you'll hear all year. She told women straight up, if you're trying to get money, go for a rich white man because at least they're generous. That's a punch to the gut of the black elite, a statement on who actually puts money down and who just flashes it. Then she went for the jugular, saying, "Black men will literally use you and throw you away. We see it publicly. His cars are not yours. Money isn't yours. His fame isn't yours. You'll be traumatized and left with maybe a bag or two." That's not gossip. That's an exposé, a detailed breakdown of the celebrity user manual for women. She was painting a picture, a vivid explanation of the emotional damage and the financial dead ends that come with chasing a rapper's glow. She made it clear, the women who are actually making money, the ones with their own currency, they ain't impressed by a celebrity DM. That's where the story gets twisted, because Rick Ross, a man whose whole brand is built on being the boss, the owner of everything, couldn't let that kind of public challenge stand. The moment that screenshot went viral, Rosie came out swinging, calling the whole thing a lie, a big fat cap. The drama went up 10 levels when he posted the screenshot back with his own caption, a dismissive, "This no going to cap emoji heaven," effectively saying she was lying on the almighty. He didn't just deny it, he went on the offense, flipping the script and producing his own receipts. Ross started posting screenshots of her Instagram stories dating back to 2022, showing that Nardose had allegedly been mentioning him, tagging him, basically keeping his name in her orbit for years. He even pointed to a video post she'd tagged him in just yesterday morning around 5 a.m., suggesting she was the one doing the chasing, the one trying to get his attention, and not the other way around. It was a classic move. Turn the victim into the aggressor, make her look like a desperate fan. Over the text thread where he was tagged, he sent her a direct reply, a disrespectful jab that read, "Cap, goofy bad body, clown emoji." Then, for the whole world to see, he added a layer of ice over the receipts, posting, "I do have a certain vibe," and she nodded. That's a triple insult, calling her a liar, calling her a clown, and saying she ain't even on his level. Now, you've got two different stories, two sets of receipts, and the whole internet is watching, trying to figure out who's telling the truth. The court of public opinion was already buzzing, and some people were quick to jump on Nardose, saying she was just flexing her attention, doing exactly what she was criticizing other women for. They were saying she was thirsty for putting a celebrity on blast. But she stood her ground, doubling down on her whole PSA. She wasn't backing down from the boss. She hit back with a powerful point. "I'm thirsty, but he is in my DMS. Women get called names, but not the man who is saying I'm his and basically putting ownership on me." That's the real issue she's highlighting, the double standard. A man can slide in and claim a woman as property, but she's the one who gets shamed and called names for simply sharing the evidence. It's a systemic problem in the culture, and she used Rosie's own words against him. And then she went for the complete knockout blow, delivering the final, most shocking line of the whole exchange, the one that'll keep people talking for weeks. She essentially dismissed his power, his status, everything he represents. She signed off by calling him community dick, and said anyone who thinks this whole exchange is a flex is a bird. She even threw in the ultimate disrespect. I got bigger names in my DMs, before dismissing her audience as slow for not getting the point. That's a level of disrespect you don't usually see aimed at a mogul like Ross, a complete devaluing of his celebrity currency. It's an interesting move, because she could have just left the screenshot and let it speak for itself, but she chose to engage, to articulate the full scope of the toxicity she was exposing. This whole back and forth, this street beef conducted on an international platform, it's about so much more than a DM. It's about the blurred lines between celebrity power and personal boundaries, the truth of what happens behind the scenes, and the way women are forced to navigate the predatory landscape of fame and wealth. Will this lead to more chaos? Absolutely. When a high-profile man is called out like this, especially one whose image is so tied to success and dominance, the response is rarely silence. People are now digging into Nardose's past, looking for more to discredit her, while others are sifting through the layers of Ross's carefully constructed empire for any crack in the facade. The story's not over, not by a long shot. Ross just put his Southwest Ranch's luxury pad in Florida up for sale, a 14,000 square foot monument to his success, selling for $6.5 million. It's been on the market since early October. He's moving pieces around, shuffling his vast real estate portfolio. But even a boss on the move can't escape the digital receipts floating in the air. This mansion, a symbol of the wealth she just dismissed as meaningless, it's a physical sign of his power, a counterpoint to her argument. Is he selling it to move on? Or is he selling it because he's already focused on bigger, newer spoils? The question remains. In this war of DMs and receipts, who has the real power, the mogul with the multi-million-dollar empire, or the model with the courage to expose the truth? Every day that screenshot lives online, the narrative shifts, and the street code is tested. This is a cold, hard look at the price of attention and the cost of the ego that drives the celebrity machine. The story just started, and the silence from both sides now is the loudest part of the whole thing. You gotta wonder, what's the next bombshell, and who's going to drop it? The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife, and everyone is waiting to see who blinks first. The truth is messy, and right now it's all over the timeline. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation, so please share your opinions in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on this story.